It's January 31st, and I am celebrating. It's my birthday, but it's also been 31 days of every day a new thought. In this episode, a little celebrating and also some reflecting on the show, including all the things I don't like about it. Just kidding about that last one, sort of. Welcome to Every Day a New Thought. I'm Thor Challgren, and in today's episode, some reflections on the first 31 days of Every Day a New Thought. I'm celebrating because today is my birthday, and also because this is the 31st episode in a row of the show. If you told me that when I had this idea back in the fall in 2022 that I was going to do a show every single day for 365 days, I would have absolutely said, well, of course that's possible. But then when you get in the middle of it and you actually see what's involved of meeting a schedule of doing something every single day, it gets to be a little bit challenging. It's where the rubber meets the road. And certainly there's been a lot of rubber meeting the road and tires screeching and smoke in the last 30 days. But I'm so happy to be here. Today, the episode is about 3 reflections that I have about the first 31 days of the show. So let's get to it. Number 1, I'm surprised how quickly in the process I wanted to quit or that I judged myself. It was actually probably like in the first week or so where I started to notice all the things I didn't like about the show. There were times that all I could see were the flaws. Or like, oh, why didn't I think that? Why didn't I do that instead? Or, oh, this would have been so much better if I could have done this. And so I started to talk myself into not really quitting. I was never going to go there, but I did actually think about the things where I'm like, you know what? I don't like that as much. And so what I did instead was I looked at it realistically and I said, okay, what can I fix? What can I do differently? And then I just started the process of making those changes. So I guess my first lesson from that experience was, yes, when you start something new, there are going to be doubts that creep in. There's going to be internal dialogue that you have with yourself where you go, oh, I don't like this. I hate that. And really the question for you is, what do you do next? Do you keep going? I hope you do. The second thing that I realized is that there are things that you can only really discover when you're doing them. I spent months thinking about the show and planning all of the ways that I would do things. And yet you can only think out so much ahead of time. There's only so much that you can imagine ahead of time. It's not possible to have every single idea that you need in advance. Until you're actually doing it, you won't have access to all of the ideas that will come to you as the show goes. And so there are show ideas that I came up with in January that I couldn't have thought of back in December because I wasn't filming the show then. But now that I am, things start to occur to me and I go, oh, I could do this, or, oh, this idea happens. And so my point is, know that before you begin something, you don't have to have it all thought out because those ideas will come to you as you go. My third point is about expectations. Honestly, I wasn't sure what to expect in terms of viewership of the show. You may know this is both a podcast, it's audio, and it's also a show on YouTube. And for the first month, the numbers are okay. Maybe not what I thought they would have been, but here's the key. If you know that you are building something for the long term, it makes it easier to accept where you are now. Don't look at the metrics every single day and have that be an occasion to judge where you are. Judge what you're doing. As long as you're committed for the long term, judge what you're doing in terms of the process, and then make a plan that you want to do look at the metrics and see where you're growing, but do that not every day. Don't judge yourself and go, is this working? Is this working? Decide to take that long-term view. I hope that you have enjoyed the show so far, all 31 days of it, listening to it, watching it. And I'm hoping that you find it valuable. I know that I've enjoyed the process. When I was a little kid, if you had told me that in the future there would be a time when I would have a TV show and a radio show every single day, I would have thought that was crazy. And you would too. The technology that we have available to us now is just astonishing, that we can essentially do things as kids that we could have never imagined. Yet here we are. So I am incredibly grateful for this opportunity, incredibly grateful for you, the audience. And that's how I'm going to celebrate my day today, my birthday, with lots of gratitude for this experience and for the people who are along the journey with me. So thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And you know what? Let's keep going. Next up is February. Thank you so much for watching today. I hope you like the show. If you do, hit like, hit subscribe. Let's start February with every day a new thought. I'll see you tomorrow.